Aquarius, darling. I love you. I love you so much. I'm really excited for you and for your journeys, for just like your life. Like, I'm just excited for your life. Today we are talking about communication, and I really want us to deep dive into how we can try on having tough chats or facing tough chats in a way that by the time we get to actually having the tough chat, we're ready for it. I'll give some examples. You know when you see those videos of like, the rock star pulls this kid up on stage and it's, and they're like, kid, you want to play the guitar? And the kid's like, okay, sure. And like fucking shreds and like has his own pick. It's like, I've been waiting for this moment my whole life. That kid has been waiting for that moment its entire life by practicing. By sitting up every motherfucking day, every fucking night, practicing, strumming, making mistakes, messing it up, shooting and failing. Like, it is not by accident that that kid has swagger up there. Because they've practiced the routine in the mirror over and over and over and said, when I'm in front of this person, I'm going to be ready. They've already had the moments of shaking. They've tried on for size, everything. They've tried on for size. Okay, if I get up there, maybe I shit my pants. Maybe this happens. Maybe that happens. Maybe this happened. Maybe that. Like, they've dramatized every good, bad, ugly, every single thing that could have gone wrong in that moment. So by the time they get up there for that moment, they look like they've been just picked it up. That is how I would love you to take that film, Aquarius, and put that over having a difficult chat, having a tough conversation. And this could be a breakup. This could be a boundary setting. This could be asking for a raise. This could be quitting a job or firing someone. This could be just, being your quirky, beautiful little self, Aquarius, when you're discovered and that, tight-laced manager that's, works for the White Hats and, is opened and open and awakened but they, dot the T's and cross the I's. When you meet that person, that investor that's ready to give you your, billions of dollars and investing in you, Aquarius, for existing, you will feel confident enough to go over that contract yourself and say, you know what? I don't know the answers to this. I'm going to employ someone. I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to, take as long as I need to be myself. I'm going to take as long as I need to be myself. This new moon is happening in your house of communication, language, early learning, short trips. This is why I'm giving all these parables. This is where you're going to be. I mean, Jupiter is here, Mercury is here. You've got, things happening on the bottom of your chart. So and Aquarius is about to go into your sign for the next 20 years. So you're not everybody gets to be famous. Not everybody gets the billions. In Libra's reading, there's a little inner adolescent, a little jealousy that's coming out for some of the stars of the world right now. And, by stars, you're just on the main stage. Pluto transiting your sign is neither good nor bad. It is. It is. It's just something you contracted. Your consciousness chose to play that role on this planet at this time. And, that is work for you to step into as, the sword and the stone. This is the quirky, kid, Arthur, who just happens to be the one that can wield the sword. There are beings that are jealous, that are in their ego. They're like, what the fuck? Why do you get to do that? It's like, you didn't ask for that. That's just the blessing that you were given. That's just the crown that you were given. Just Pluto in your sign during this time. That's just what you chose to do. Back in 2008, that was Capricorn. Pluto went into Capricorn in 2008. And for Capricorn, that is just the contract that they had. My ear is ringing for that time. That's just, it is what it is. You know, Mars, again, takes 2 months to transit a sign. It has been in Gemini for 7 months. The full moon said to Gemini, I don't make the rules. I just bring you the news. Yeah, Mars is about to go into your house of everyday life and practical service. It's going to be there for 2.5 months. Things are going to shift quickly for you. In your personal home space, which at the end of the day is our skin. You can be homeless and still be at home in your skin. Aquarius. So your words are not your weapons, but if you don't articulate how you feel inside, the people around you don't actually know who you are. And so then you're not in the right room, for lack of a better term, if that makes sense. You're not in the right room. Company. So let's try on some tough chats, Aquarius. Let's try on some tough chats. Asking for a raise can be really scary for some people. Really scary for females. Setting boundaries, leaving a relationship. But you know, the jealousy of you, the smallness that you've been, like, I'm literally just like seeing you being like smashed down. Thinking of like Captain Marvel when, you know, you're a girl, you're this, 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 you're this. And you, like Arthur, is like, oh. No, you actually can just set a boundary. No one's going to come at you. You know, sometimes if when we were kiddos, you know, we grew up in an environment that we felt scared by words because, you know, maybe the kids around us were bigger and they would punch us and push us over if they didn't like what we said. We're, you know, adults or adult presenting now. And those physical fears aren't really as much of a part of our everyday life, but those imprints, those traumas, that's still there. You know, this house that, as you can see, you know, has so much activation happening in it. And I've left the planets here if you're interested in a personalized reading or if you have a question about them, please reach out directly. Even just like a short conversation, like let's chat, absolutely. So this house is getting highlighted. This house is about early learning and early understanding so much as like, and I've given this story before, you know, the first time that you ever learned how to say certain words or certain phrases, this is when you learned those boundaries. So whether it be a sibling or a parent that, you know, received what you said and then kind of said, and you kind of were like, oh, it's kind of like the first time, you know, I heard the word, you know, fuck at school. And I came home and I've told this story before. My mom was taking out my hair, brushing my hair, maybe taking out my braids in the kitchen. And I said, Mom, what does fuck mean? And she whipped me around and she slapped me across the face. I had no idea. So this house is being highlighted. So when we think about having a tough conversation or whatever it is that we're really putting in the trying on this tough chat for size, like whatever this conversation is for you, you know, asking someone out, divorcing someone, asking for a raise, leaving a job, you know, whatever bucket this is for you, what's underneath that fear? When was the first time, you know, you weren't told that this was okay, or when was the first time you had to deal with this, and who taught you, and what happened during those times. You know, I was having a really healing conversation the other day, and I was talking about how I didn't learn, like they were saying, you know, oh, you were a kid, you would have known, you know, I was talking about childhood sexual trauma. This is getting hot quick. And I was talking about, this person was like, well, wouldn't you know to say, don't touch me? And I said, I didn't know that it was okay to tell anyone that it wasn't okay to touch you until I was in my 20s. You know, I was born in 1987. In the 90s, it was like, oh, give your grandma a hug. Oh, let your uncle pinch your cheek and pull your toes. And I'm literally like physically squirming away from these people. And they're like, it's fine. Let your grandma pull you down the hallway by your hair. It's not all sexual traumas, like childhood traumas and stuff like that. But you learn, like, this is my boundary, and this is how I can, what I can say and what I can honor and what I can value and stuff like that. So look at what you want to talk about. Look at what's underneath that. And maybe like, where was the first time you had to have that type of conversation? And then just look at the mess of it. Just look at the mess of it. And not with, this is not a week-long span thing. This is a new moon. We're manifesting. So our thoughts are extremely potent and powerful right now. But like I like to think of it as like bubble it. Bubble it. If you would like to have like a comrade with you, sometimes like going for a walk with someone and being like, I need to process this deep dive thing and like gross thing, and they'll be like, okay, let's just bubble it. And let's think about like the worst case scenarios. What could happen? All that bad things, blah, 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 and get it out. Because just like if you eat bad food, it's got to come out up or down. So that fear either can come out in words and expression, or it can come out in your physical reality and it can actualize. Because when we internalize it and we let our thoughts create our reality, let the words just be like visualize them as like, you know, like if like the words we say, ouch, and then OUCH just like comes out, like think of it that way, like get it out. I release my fear, you know, in that bubble I release and then close it up. All right, Aquarius, that was a lot longer than I expected it to be for you, but please reach out directly or, you know, ask questions about these dramatizations and, you know, let me know what you're going through. Let me know what you're going through. I love you, dear.